Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 55th installment of
I'm dancing with my demons.
The Bobby Kudo Show.
I'm hanging off the edge. Storm clouds gather beneath me. Waves break above my head.
So it's been a minute.
Head first hallucination. I wanna fall wide awake now. You tell me it's alright. Tell me I'm forgiven tonight. But nobody can save me now. I'm holding up a light, chasing out the darkness inside. 'Cause nobody can save me.
Fantastic, epic, unique, rest in peace, Chester Bennington, July 20th, 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, One More Light by Linkin Park. Welcome, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. It's always tough to walk into a beautiful tune like that, right? Great band, great music, Linkin Park. Go give them a listen. One More Light. Awesome. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome. I know it's been a minute. As I've mentioned in the past, I work a full-time job, so to get behind the microphone as often as I like is close to nearly impossible. Which kind of brought me to today's episode, and the topic or reason for this episode, I thought, one, being a milestone 55 episodes in, and two, just really reflecting a little bit on myself and where I am in my life and how things are with me, and really just reflecting off everything that I've told you, everything that I've tried to inspire you with. You know, it's very easy to get caught up in your own thoughts and your own ideas, and we've talked about that on a couple of episodes. But the important thing to remember is not losing sight of who you are as an individual. The important thing is not losing sight of how hard you have worked to be where you are today. In this society, in this current climate, I find that we are rewarding and celebrating those who fail. You know, oh, it's okay. No, it's all right. No, it's okay. And the truth of the matter is it's not okay. It's not all right. You, as an individual, like myself, have to find that level of success, that level of achievement that fulfills a narrative that lives, I believe, in all of us. I don't care who you are or what you do for a living. There is that light inside you that motivates you to complete the tasks that you have, regardless of what they are. And in this case, myself as the example. You know, guys, like I mentioned, I work a full-time job, and in this job, I haven't been there for a very long time. So hitting the ground running was very, very important to me. You know, obviously, first identifying the deficiencies, identifying the need for immediate attention, and of course, building process. I mean, everything you do in life is a process, and you got to build those processes. And as a manager, or whether regardless if you're managing people or you're managing your life, you've got to have a goal. And my goal is the 5-year plan. Where am I going to be in 5 years? What does this look like in 5 years? Will the same people be around me in 5 years? Where is success going to take me in 5 years? You can talk to a lot of people, and you can ask them what their future looks like. And most people, the majority of people, are waiting for some magical moment that when they turn 65, that they're able to walk away from the workforce, and that they're going to get a magical paycheck in the mail, and that they're going to be magically happy for the remainder, 10, 20 years that they will walk among us. The problem with that is you're setting goals that are so far out in advance that it creates a comfortable situation for you. It creates a comfortable environment where you think, hey, gee, if this doesn't work out, I got a plan B. Well, the truth of the matter is that plan B will absolutely ruin your life. You know, if you look at anyone who is successful, who has a brand, they succeeded because that was the goal. There was no parachute. It was Like, this needs to work. If this doesn't work, then there's nothing. And I think that motivator is what drives people to success. It's very, very easy. You have a generation of people that have failed to launch, whether it be into the workforce, whether it be to chase their dreams or implement a plan for financial success of their future. So if you've got a generation or a couple of generations that believe that someone else will take care of it for you, then you've pretty much set up yourself to, one, be a lemming, and two, never find or experience the feeling of success. I mentioned it before. Quick story, example myself. I've been with this company that I'm working with now for just, let's just say under 5 years. And upon starting this position, I knew that I needed to motivate people. I couldn't do it on my own. So I had to find a way to make people believe that they should follow me, that I would lead them to prosperity, that I would make their lives just a little better than it was yesterday. Once you go through that process, anyone who knows that respect and trust is something that is very, very hard to gain, but very, very, very easy and simple to lose. It's not a situation where you can run a mile and then jog and then run a mile and jog, maybe walk, jog, and run again. It's a situation where you start to sprint and you cannot let up. You need to continue to push forward. Everyone is watching, whether it's 1, 2, 10, 20, 50 people. You're the new leader. You're the new captain. And once you get those people to buy into your ideas, your thoughts, and your goals, which of all you have to lay out? If I walked up to you in the street and I said, hey, we're going to be rich and successful together, you would look at me and you would say, exactly how are you going to do that? You wouldn't just follow me, right? You wouldn't just give me your wallet. You need to build that trust, and you need to build that respect and understand that you're putting your life in my hands, your financial one anyway. And that is step one, getting through that process and getting people to buy into an idea that have pretty much been forgotten for a long, long time. The perfect example, if you go to the pound and you rescue a dog, let's just say a mature dog. Whatever that dog experienced in its life in the past, it's going to take it with itself when you adopt it, right? It's going to be skittish. It doesn't know you. It doesn't know its environment. It's kind of off. I'm not sure. Are you my friend? Are you my foe? Like all of those things, right? But over time, the more time you spend with this animal, the more time that you nourish and provide the compassion to this creature, you're going to build that trust and you're going to build that motivation and that respect. And at that point, that's when the fun begins, right? That's when it's supposed to be, all right, now we get along, now we're friends, and now we can move forward, right? Now we can set the goal, we can set the plan in motion and move forward for success. But that's just a first step. That's a level of commitment right there that takes probably 90% of your well-being. You have to focus. You have to realize that the people that you're working with have to be a priority, that they have to come above all else. Because once you build that team, once you build that environment of people that are willing to follow you and believe your ideas and believe in your objectives and goals, well, then you implement. Apply this to work. You can apply this to doing the laundry, whatever it may be. You have to implement. And how do you implement? Do you build a beautiful mansion on dirt and mud? No, you got to build a beautiful mansion on a strong and fit foundation. And now you've built that foundation. You've given people a reason to follow you. You've given people a reason to believe in where you are headed. And then once you do that, you implement. And this is where most people fail. This is where most people feel like they've achieved something. And the truth of the matter is you have not. This is literally the beginning. This is the beginning of any direction that you want to go in. If you want to go it alone, guess what? You've got to convince yourself, you have to trust yourself, and you have to respect yourself enough to implement a dream or an idea, right? See, it works in every aspect. Whether you're a leader, manager, or you're leading and managing your own personal life and assets and success, it doesn't make a difference. And once you do that and you implement and you have a plan, then it's a call to action. So the call to action tells you, all right, well, I've got all the pieces, I've got all the players, and now I'm going to implement. And chances are you're going to fall hard on your face that first time. As soon as you start to roll forward, you realize, wait a minute, we're not going downhill, we're going uphill. But I promise you, if you choose to climb that hill, if you choose to go up, then once you get started, it's quite honestly like the snowball effect. It starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So in my situation, I implemented, and I have a team of people that believe in me. And every single one of those people believed in the greater good. So they implemented. And we went through a process, well over probably a year and a half to 2 years, where we streamlined the business of what we do. Implementation of every process. We really looked at just every avenue, what's good, what's bad, what keep, what not to keep. And we did it. We moved tonnage, we moved weight, we reached out to our counterparts, we built relationships with other departments and other organizations to be in a space where we could be successful and that we could enjoy what we were doing. So we did it. We did it as a team, we did it as a family, and it was great. It was fantastic, right? Because now you got success. So now you started at the bottom, you climbed up this hill, and now you're starting to just climb down that hill. And then that's where things change. We can all think that, we can plan for that 5 year. And that's really what it is. All you can really do is plan. What's going to happen between, say, now and then is really just theory, right? It's all theory. This is where I'd like to be. This is what I think I may have. This is where I think we might or should be, right? It's all theory. And then there are things that happen along that process that you never seen coming. In my case, imagine a situation where you were able to transform an entity. And by the time you finished and you think, okay, now we need to maintain, I think we're in a good spot. And I honestly believe as a manager and just as a person of personal success and goals, I always say to myself, like, you always have to have goals. Like, there always has to be a goal in front of you. You can never be satisfied, right? You can never be satisfied. If you're satisfied, then you're not winning anymore. The truth of the matter is, without sacrifice, there is no investment. Without sacrificing anything, you don't have an investment. When you sacrifice, you're making an investment in what you believe in. And that's where we fall short. I'll give you my 8. I'll give you my 10. But okay. And that's all right. Because if you just want to just live in that plateau, if you just want to live there, that's fine. That's okay. If you're at McDonald's and you're making French fries, that's okay. But you better be making the best fucking French fries there is. That's the point. You need to make the investment, right? You need to work hard. So whatever it is you're producing, whatever it is you get your hands on, that's your brand. That's you. That's what shows people who you are. And more importantly, that just fills that void in you as a human being, that void. We all need to fill that void. It is physically impossible without physical impairment to sit in a chair 24 hours a day. You need to get up, right? We all need to get up. We need to walk around. We need to smell fresh air. We need to step outside. We need to interact with social creatures. We need to interact with other people. But if you don't put that first and foremost, then you'll never achieve anything. So back to my story. Worked really, really hard. We all worked really, really hard to create something that I believe, in my personal opinion, is pretty great. Even the culture. I believe, building that department and building that environment, I think it absolutely changed the culture of a whole organization. Let's put it that way. Not that I would ever take personal credit for that, but I think that when you empower people to be happy, when you empower people to make decisions that are going to help, my philosophy is always, anyone who knows me, my philosophy is always the same. The best idea wins. The best idea wins. And I can't imagine anybody living in a world or being in a position of leadership that wouldn't feel that way. The idea that for one split second that I would implement an idea that I thought was a good one where all others thought it was not, I think is foolish. It's a foolish idea. And if I did it without informing myself, gee, well, why wouldn't this be a good idea? And why would not everyone else agree with me, right? That's got to be a red flag for you. So to all you managers out there, there's a lot of people out there, some that I know, that lead with an iron fist. Well, this is the way it is, and if you don't like it, there's the door. You will never grow success like that. I've worked for many of those people. I'm in my 40s. I've worked for a few companies, and every single one of those companies, I gave it all I had. I walked away from companies that at one point or another that I felt like they didn't care about me anymore. And to be honest with you, me personally, I don't know about you, but me personally, I need to know that you give a shit about me. I will give you all I have. I'll give you my heart. I'll give you my soul. I'll give you my passion. But I need to know that you feel the same way. I'm not going to give you all I got without you believing in me and giving me all you got. It's just that simple. It has to be more than the money, right? It has to be more than the money because anyone can pay you to be miserable. And the worst part about that is, and the funny part about that is that the more miserable you are, the more they want to pay you. Why? Because no one else wants to do it, right? Just put that into perspective for yourself. And the amount of energy that it takes out of you, out of the human body, to do something that they don't want to do, it's absolutely exhausting. And a lot of you are out there, and you know what? You can make as many excuses as you want. You can make as many excuses as you want. You can say that, well, you know, I need to do this because I'm the insurance. It's me. I got a 401k investment. I got this. Guys, let me tell you something. I walked away from a 15-year 401k. Why? Because I finally realized that my life and well-being was much more important than a corporate conglomerate. About a corporation that, quite honestly, gave me a number. I was a number. I was a 4-digit number. And I was so far away from the top, that person at the top had no idea the amount of work and hard work and ethic that I was putting in because they were so far away from me. The only way that they measure success was through metrics, right? Was through an Excel sheet. They were never around for those personal one-on-one conversations with customers and clients. They were never around for those situations where, decisions had to be made that were either going to make or break a situation. They weren't there for that. But they'll clap their hands and they'll tell you that you're important and they'll tell you that you're part of this greater good. But the reality and the matter of it is, guys, is you're working to make somebody else rich. And guys, listen, I'm with you. I'm with you. I still work for the man. I work a 40-hour job. I still have to work. But I'm working on other things. And even though I'm working, I give my commitment 150%. And I will do so until the day I walk away. Because ultimately, guys, I make the best French fries. That's what I do. I don't want to make mediocre French fries. I don't want to make burnt French fries. I don't want to make raw French fries. I want you to come to my McDonald's and I want you to have the best French fries you've ever eaten. Why? Because I made those French fries. Because Bobby Kudo made those French fries. And that's my philosophy with everything. It's funny. I have friends and family that would, they sometimes laugh at me because I go to the extreme. I'll go to the next level because it's important to me what I'm leaving behind. It's always darkest before the dawn. I believe that. And now this current environment that we're living in with between, I hate even to bring it up on the show, but with government, with the involvement of government, I mean, that attacks us all financially. It affects us all in a way where we're even now, people are doing things because it's easy. Right? Let me sit home and let me collect an unemployment check because, hey, what the hell? They're giving it to me for free. Listen, I will go to my grave and I will say this. Nothing, absolutely nothing in this world is free. And if it's free, you don't want it. It's because someone else didn't want it. Trust me. I've been around for a long time. I try not to give bad advice. And the bottom line is if it's free, you don't want it. You think you're getting some extra money in the mail and, hey, guess what? I'm going to take the summer off. You're only cheating yourself. You're only cheating yourself unless you have a plan, right? I hear you out there, you entrepreneurs. Unless you have a plan. If you're building something, if you're building a brand or you're building an enterprise, if you're building success, yeah, by all means, this is a great opportunity for you. Because why? You can dedicate those 8 hours where you would have been at your job, you can dedicate that now to building something, building a brand, building a financial engine, right? A means to enjoy life, a means to better mankind. You can do that. But how many of you are actually doing that? How many people are home right now collecting an unemployment check with extra benefits that are actually working on their craft or working on their plan? What happens when you have to go back to work? Seriously. Like, you should be working really, really hard right now. And that's what this episode is about. And at some point in this episode, I'm going to finish my story. And that story is we've built trust, right? We built respect. We've built an infrastructure. The final piece of this story is that we all worked very hard over a period of time. We sat back and we just admired our success, right? Look at this. We moved mountains. And then the company was no longer under the same ownership. That changed quickly, right? One day to the next. Today, you're with this company who recognized all of that hard work, right? Oh, wow, this is what it was before and this is what it is now. And now someone else comes in and they don't know what it was before you got there, right? To them, their perception is I'm walking in and this is what it's been. So all those years of hard work that you put in to build something great, they don't know what the struggle was. They have no idea what it took for you to get there. They don't know what it was like before. Do you see where we're going with this, guys? The important thing in all this is that I can't look back at all that hard work and say, wow, geez, we worked really, really hard to get here, because the people that are in play now really don't give a shit. They don't. Why would they care? Right? Why would they? It wasn't a problem for them before, and it's not a problem for them now. So although all that hard work and effort went in, you can't lose sight of the fact that you got there. So if you're looking for someone else to come up to you and pat you on the back, you're going to keep waiting. Yeah, I'm not telling you to celebrate yourself. What I'm telling you to do is don't lose sight of all your hard work, right? You made all this sacrifice, right? We talked about sacrifice. We talked about investment, right? So you made all of this investment. And at this point now, it's really not about this other entity identifying that. What it really is what's your next step? What's your next move? Is this new entity going to appreciate your success? Is this new entity going to appreciate the direction that you're taking your team, taking your success? I don't know. We don't know. But you got to try to prepare for that. And how you prepare for that is building your own success. Again, whether you do it for you or whether you're doing it for someone else, it really comes down to you. It really comes down to how hard you're working to whatever that may be. Any fans of the show, if you're 55 episodes in, I've always told you, if you could spend 8, 10, 12 hours a day working on your craft, working on your dreams, building your dreams, success is inevitable. But if you spend that time spinning the wheels for someone else, then you're just making somebody else rich. That's just the way it is. If you're happy with a salary, which most of you are, most of America is, then that's okay. Because we need people. You need the worker ants to bring, right, the food to the queen. You need the worker ants to dig the holes. Like, that all has to happen. The question is are you a worker ant or are you the queen? That's the question here. Are you controlling your future? Are you controlling your success, or is someone else doing it? This episode was very important to me. I've been having some trouble lately, just kind of gathering my thoughts and figuring out what my future looks like. Do I continue doing what I'm doing, or do I move on to other things? Never let anyone take you for granted. And unfortunately, that as of recently, that's that feeling that I feel. I told you guys earlier, I mentioned it earlier in the episode. I need to know that you care about me. If I'm giving you my time, if I'm giving you my thought and hard work and effort, then I need to know that you care. If you don't care, then I don't want to do this for you. Then I need to move on, because I need to do this in a manner that I know that my success, my hard work and effort is going to drive us forward. So if you care about what I'm doing, then you're sensitive to success, right? Because we're going to succeed because I'm working hard for you. But if you don't care, right? If it just every day, everything's just the way it is, and just as long as you don't have to answer a phone call, or you don't have to answer a question, then everything's okay. Then what are we doing here, right? Then what are we doing? Are we in this perpetual machine, just waiting to take our last breath? What are your goals? What are your hopes? What are your dreams? What are they? Now is the time you want to look at that. Now is the time that you want to realize where you're going. I told you that plan B thing. Listen, let it go. Forget it. Don't think about a plan B. Make a plan A and implement. And whatever it is you decide to do, just be the best at it. If you're the best at it, then people will pay you to do it. That's the bottom line. I want the best mechanic working on my car. I want the best doctor providing me medical attention. I want the best painter painting my house. I want the best landscaper cutting my grass. Do you get what I'm getting? This is what I'm saying to you. You can do it. We all have it. You all have it inside you. There is no reason why one person is more successful than the other. There isn't. It's motivation. It's mindset. It's the idea of being comfortable with being uncomfortable. When you're comfortable, you don't grow. When you're sitting on the couch and you're comfortable and you're watching Netflix, you're not growing. You're not growing. It's no difference than indulging in Twinkies and alcohol and whatever else. Now, uncomfortable. When you're uncomfortable, that's when you grow. When your hands are cold, you want to find a way to get warm. When you're hungry, you want to find a way to eat. You get it? So it's okay to be uncomfortable. That's where we grow. And the days that you don't want to get out of bed, those days that you actually, you're fighting, your mind is fighting your body physically, a battle, an absolute epic battle of, I don't want to do this today. And you know what? Those are the days that you need to get up. And those are the days that you need to implement. Because those are the days that you're going to be the most successful. Jay-Z said it best. I'm still an ace on my sick days. When you perform at that level, when you perform at a peak performance level all the time, when you don't let up, when you are relentless, like I told you before, when you start sprinting, there are going to be people sprinting with you. And the people that are sprinting with you are all keys to help you succeed. The people that can't keep up, the ones that are jogging and walking behind you, they might be able to help because they may be able to carry something for you. But at the end of the day, they're not going to drive you forward. So the people that you surround yourself with, the people that are sprinting with you, those are the people that deserve your time and deserve your energy. Those are the people that are going to drive your success. And those are the people you should surround yourself with. So all in all, full circle in all this, guys and gals, is realizing that you are your thoughts. What you think drives you forward. If you are comfortable, then you are comfortable. That's it. It ends there. There's nothing left. There's nothing more to that sentence. When you're comfortable, you're comfortable. But when you're uncomfortable, that's when the magic happens. Because immediately, you can't even control it. Your mind and your body are automatically going to try to find ways to make you comfortable. And if you're always chasing that feeling, then success is inevitable. Because you're going to learn, listen, no one is going to help you. Your mom might give you a loan, your dad might give you a loan, your uncle might give you a loan, that's fine. But no one is going to do this for you. You need to do it. Don't let anyone talk you out of it. It's the scariest thing in the world to make a decision like this. It's the scariest thing in the world to finally say to yourself, listen, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to do this, and I know I can be successful. But I can tell you it's the most liberating and empowering feeling in the world when you finally decide that you need to take that next step. Remember, it's okay to be where you are. It is, because we need people to be in those spaces. But if you want to be a game changer, if you want to take your life to the next level, if you want to leave a legacy behind for the ones that you love, then you need to get out of that comfort zone. You need to be uncomfortable. You need to set a goal and you need to move forward. And when I say move forward is you can't look back. You can't look back and say, gee, wow, look at all that effort. Look at everything we did, because that's what I did. I looked back on all the hard work that we did. So if you're looking at your past and you're feeling sorry for yourself, oh, I did all this. I worked so hard and I went to school every day and I did this every day and well, you know what? That's a pity party and nobody gives a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Nobody does. The only person that gives a fuck is you. And if you say that and you continue to say that, the only person that hears you saying that is you. No one wants to be with a Debbie Downer. Nobody wants to be with a loser. Nobody wants to be with somebody who's always complaining. Nobody. Right now, I'm asking you, do you have a friend? Do you have a family member that all they do is bitch and complain and moan all the time? Yeah, you try to avoid them, right? They call you, you don't want to answer the phone. Why? Because they're doom and gloom on everything. But if you've got those people in your life that are motivated, that are always talking about success, talking about moving forward, talking about greater and better things, then you pick up the phone for those people because you want to talk to those people because they make you feel good. You know, they're releasing the endorphins in your brain that are making you feel good about success and moving forward and creation and doing wonderful and amazing things together. You know, don't celebrate victimhood. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because that's what happens now. You gave it, you tried. Listen, it's not about trying. It's about execution. And you know what? Anybody listening to the show, I don't know if anybody who's in professional sports listens to the show, but if you're a basketball player, like how many shots are you taking and how many are going in? What's success there? If you're a baseball player, how many swings at the plate, right? Most baseball players between 200 and 300 average. So that's out of every 10 swings, they might hit the ball 2 or 3 times. And if they hit it 3 times out of 10, that's really good. That's really good if you're a baseball player. So just think about that for a second. You're not going to hit every ball. You're not going to sink every shot, but you got to try. You can't give up. You got to move forward. You know, not to drag this out too far along. One quick story and I'll walk us out of here. Talking about my mom. You know, imagine we all live here in the United States. Well, I guess at least the ones, or where you live in your country. We got listeners all over the world. So you live in your country. Imagine at some point you realize that you can no longer succeed or there is no opportunity where you live. So you make a conscious decision to pack up everything you own, get on a plane, and go to a country where you've never been before to start a new life. Imagine that for a second. I mean, I know, you know, a lot of you who have immigrant parents who immigrated here from other countries like mine, who immigrated from Portugal. I often think about that, and it motivates me. It motivates me because I think to myself, imagine that this day and age today and the State of the Union, the way that the country is, and imagine that picking up everything that I own, my family, all my belongings, and leaving. I'm not talking about going, you know, across the country to another state. I'm talking about picking up everything you have and leaving the country. That's pretty scary, right? That's a big deal. But somehow she did it. My mom did it. She did it. She came here. And when she got here, she worked hard. And she worked really, really hard for many, many years. And she built legacy for herself. And here I am. I got my brother. Shout out Brother Lou. And you know what? We were never super successful. We had property and just a solid foundation to grow a family, right? In a new country. With that, I want to leave that with you guys to just kind of soak that in for a minute. And you know, what we're talking about here today is your own personal success. And regardless of what it is, we're not just talking business here. We're talking your just well-being. We're talking about you getting up every day and enjoying being in your skin and looking at what you can change, what you can make better. You know, for us, it's a matter of getting out of bed and getting in our car and driving somewhere, not getting up and getting on a plane and flying to a country where you don't know anyone or anything. So that's just a little perspective in there, you know? So if you're going to take anything away from this episode today, episode 55, and I thank you all for being here for the duration, is that being uncomfortable is okay. Being uncomfortable is where you grow. Making sacrifices is making investment in your life. Remember, nobody cares. You have to care. You have to drive yourself forward. No one is going to do this for you. Nobody. I'm telling you, nobody. And if anything, someone will take it. As soon as you're not looking, as soon as you let your guard down, someone will take it. I've had the opportunity to work with many people in my life. I've had partners in my life, good ones, bad ones. But one thing was always certain. The minute I turned my back, there was always somebody right there, ready and willing to take what I have. There's no difference. If you're in the jungle and you're the tiger or you're the lion and you take down that gazelle and you walk away from that gazelle after you kill it, guess what's going to happen? The hyenas are coming. The hyenas are coming. And if there's 13 hyenas, guess what, Mr. Lion, Mrs. Lion? Walk away. Well, because there's nothing you can do. And all that hard work that you put in to catch that gazelle was for nothing. You burnt the calories, you put the energy in, you sacrificed the fact of physical harm for food, and then 14 hyenas show up and they take it from you. They didn't ask, they just take it. And that's the environment. So with that said, guys and gals, take a strong, hard look at your situation. Let this motivate you. Let this motivate you. And I want you to know that it's okay to be uncomfortable. You need to be uncomfortable. Nothing great happens from being comfortable. You know when you should be comfortable? When you go on your all-inclusive vacation to Cancun, Mexico, or Puerto Vallarta. That's where you can be comfortable. But when you're in the workforce, when you're out there building your brand, you need to be uncomfortable. You need to make the sacrifice, because that's where the investment comes from. And with that said, everybody, I thank you so very much for giving me your time just to take this in. My goal has been and always will be the greater good of man and woman. And I will continue to deliver this message. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you need to do this on your own. This is for you. This is your time. Don't be 50 and have nothing but the dependency upon someone else. Remember that. Your company, the company that you work for, they could close tomorrow. And then what are you going to do? You're going to go collect? What's going to happen? How about you control your life? How about you control your success? You can do that. It starts today. You have to make that commitment. And you have to understand that you're going to be uncomfortable and that you're going to have to make a lot of sacrifice. I will guarantee you there is no better feeling in the world than knowing that you built your own success. And remember that success and that reward has to come from you and not anyone else. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, because as long as you're not satisfied, you will continue to succeed. And with that said, everyone, I thank you so very much for your time. I hope this message reaches you all well. And remember that all roads lead here.